Namaste Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktirbhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishnaprishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We are discussing this 78th anuccheda. It is entitled The Residents of Vaikuntha are Transcendental to the Material World. So in this anuccheda, Jiva Goswami is actually explaining the concept of Tripad Vibhuti and Ekapad Vibhuti. We have heard this previously. Tripad Vibhuti refers to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. Ekapad Vibhuti refers to the material world. This is explained in very minute detail. So, Jiva Goswami quotes verses from the Padma Puran, Uttarakhanda. So, the Tripad Vibhuti, this Vaikuntha is called as Tripad Vibhuti. The three things, Vaikuntha is having a inherent characteristics. The inherent characteristics of Vaikuntha are Amrita, Shema, and Abhaya. These are the three inherent characteristics of Vaikuntha. Amrita, immortality, Amritam. Abhayam, fearlessness. Shema, welfare. So, Amrita means supremely blissful. Fearlessness, supremely blissful. The Vaikuntha is actually it's a planet where there is a supremely bliss, where the supreme bliss is there. The abode of immortality. And Vaikuntha has the characteristics of Abhayam, because there is no influence of time there. Time causes fear in this world. But because there is no influence of time in Vaikuntha, there is absolutely fearlessness. And the third characteristics of Vaikuntha is Shema. Shema means welfare. That means the Vaikuntha is a repository of all auspiciousness, because there is no Maya in Vaikuntha. There is no Maya in Vaikuntha. there is absolutely no contact of the material gunas that divert attention and awareness away from the simple, obvious, moment to moment recognition of God. So, Vaikuntha is also described as, but on the other hand, this material world, in this material world, a person enjoys the results of one's karma. A person enjoys the results of one's karma, and this is the Martya Loka, this is the mortal world. So, these three characteristics of Vaikuntha, Amrita, Abhayam and Kshemam. Because these three characteristics are there, therefore it is called as Tripad Vibhuti. So it's called a Tripad Vibhuti. Let us go further. This anuccheda. We have discussed it till okay. So we have discussed till here. This Yeshaha Amritad Aishwarya Rupaka. This sentence till that we have discussed. I'll start from here. You also go through the corresponding. Tadevam Amartyam Aishwaryam. Amartyam Aishwaryam Tripat. Martyam Ekapat. Tripat, the Tripad Vibhuti has the Aishwarya of Amartya, immortality. But the Ekapad Vibhuti has the Aishwarya of Martyam, mortality. Iti tasya Chatushpadeshwaryam Punar Vivrinoti. So the Tripad Vibhuti plus Ekapad Vibhuti. So Bhagavan has got totally Tripad plus Ekapad, that is totally 4. Therefore, Bhagavan has got 4 Aishwaryas. Therefore, the Tripad Vibhuti and Ekapad Vibhuti together, they comprise the Lord's 4-dimensional opulence, Chatushpadaishwaryam. And Shukadeva Goswami is describing this further as follows. So, Jiva Goswami is quoting a shloka from 2nd canto, 6th chapter. This chapter is entitled Purusha Sukta Confirmed. So, Purusha Sukta is considered to be the most important among the parts of the Vedas. There is a shloka, I'll show you that shloka. Bharate Bhagavad Gita Dharma Shastreshu Manavam Vedeshu Paurusham Suktam Puraneshu Cha Vaishnavam. So this shloka is quoted by Sri Vaishnavas. I don't know the source of it. The shloka says that in the Mahabharata, the most important or the special part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita. Among the Dharma Shastras, the best among the Dharma Shastras is the Manusmriti. Manusmriti, that which is written by Manu. And Vedeshu Paurusham Suktam. Among the Vedas, the most important part is the Purusha Sukta. Because Purusha Sukta is present in all the 4 Vedas. And Puraneshu Cha Vaishnavam. Among the Puranas, Vishnu Purana is the topmost. So in the Sri Sampradaya, Vishnu Purana is the most important Purana. So therefore, Vishnu Purana is mentioned. The Purusha Sukta, even Devatas, they would chant the Purusha Sukta prayers to glorify the Lord. The 10th canto, first chapter, when the Devatas approached Vishnu, Tatra gatva Jagannatham Devadevam Vrishakapim Purusham Purusha Suktena Upataste Samahita. They worshipped the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Purusha, by chanting the verses of the Purusha Sukta. Anyway, coming back here. So this verse is quoted from the Purusha Sukta confirmed. So how the essence of Purusha Sukta is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Of the Srimad Bhagavatam is Sarva Vedetihasanam Saram Saram Samudrutam. Tadidam Grahayamasa Sutam Atmavatam Varam Sarva Vedetihasanam Saram Saram Samudrutam. Is the cream of all the Vedas and Itihasas. Therefore, even the essential message of Purusha Sukta is also there in the Bhagavatam. The verse quoted is Padeshu Sarva Bhutani Pumsastitipado Viduhu Amritam Kshemam Abhayam Trimurdno Dhai Murdasu. So the Lord is called as Stitipat. Stitipado Viduhu. Stitipat means the maintainer of all. Why the Lord is called as Stitipat, the maintainer of all, by the wise? Because Sarvabhutani Padeshu, all the living beings exist in the feet of the Purusha. Pumsaha Padeshu Sarvabhutani, all the living entities exist in the feet of the Purusha. Therefore, he is called as the maintainer of all, the maintainer of all. Amritam Kshemam Abhayam Trimurdno, immortality, auspiciousness, kshemam, and abhayam, fearlessness, are established in the Tripad Vibhuti, in that paramount abode, Trimurdno, Adai Murdasu, which is lying beyond the three-headed material nature. Trimurdno Adai Murdasu. Which is lying the Tripad Vibhuti, consisting of which has the characteristics of Amritam, Kshemam, and Abhayam. That Vaikuntha is lying beyond the three-headed material nature. Three Murdno Adai Murdasu. So the explanation of the shloka is there. In the next. Tishtanti Atra Sarvabhutani Iti Stitayo Martyad Aishwaryani Tani Pada Iva Adhishtana Bhutani Yasya Tasya Stitipadaha. Why is called as Stitipad? That is explained here. God is called as Stitipad because he is the shelter of all living beings. Sarvabhutani Tishtanti Atra. And then Martyad Aishwaryani Tani Pada. All opulences beginning with Martyad, all the mortal objects, Tani Pada Iva, are compared to his feet. Because his feet is the Adhishtana. His feet is the substratum, Adhishtana of existence. Therefore, he is called a Stitipat. Padeshu Chaturshveva Aishwarya Bhageshu Sarvabhutani Parshada Paryantani. So the Lord is having the four-fold division. There are four-fold division of his opulence. So all the living beings up to and including his Parshada, that means his personal associates, all these living entities in this material world and his personal associates in the spiritual world, all of them exist within this fourfold division of his opulence. In this material world, all the living entities exist. In the spiritual world, all his associates exist. And then, Padan Darshayati Trayanam. Padan Darshayati Trayanam Satvikadi Padarthanam Murdeva Murda Prakritis Tasya Murdesu Tadupari Virajamaneshu Shri Vaikuntha Lokeshu Amrutam Kshemam Abhayam Cha Adayi Nityam Dhritameva Tishtati Ityartha. So in this material world is produced by the material nature. And the material nature has got material nature comprises of the three gunas, sattva guna, rajo guna, and tamo guna. So these three gunas, sattva, rajo guna, tamo guna, they are symbolized as the three heads of the material nature. Sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic tendencies are described as the three heads of the material nature. So above the three-headed Prakriti, Vaikuntha planets are shining. Prakritis tasya murdesu tad upari virajamaneshu. Above the three-headed Prakriti, Vaikuntha planets are shining. And these Vaikuntha planets, they have the characteristics of Amritam, Kshemam, Abhayam. And they are Nityam Dhritameva. They are eternally established. And then further he is explaining. Tataha purvasya martyan ततः पूर्वस्य मर्त्य अन्नमात्रात्मकत्वाद् एकपात्वम् मर्त्य अन्नमात्रात्मकत्वाद् एकपात्वम्. The import is that the first mentioned place, that means the Ekapad Vibhuti, it is called as Ekapad because it is a place constituted of mortal food alone. Martya Anna Matratmakatvad. This material world is called as Ekapat Vibhuti. Why it is called Ekapat Vibhuti? Because it is comprised of mortal food alone. That means it is having only mortality. Ashashvatam. It is comprised of mortality alone, mortal food alone. It means everything in this world is mortal, temporary. Uttarasya, the other part, Tripad Vibhuti, Amrutadi Trayatmakatvat Tripatvam iti bhavaha. The other part is called Tripat Vibhuti because it is having three qualities. That is Amrita, Abhaya, and Kshemam. Immortality, auspicious, and fearlessness. And therefore, in the Purusha Sukta, it is mentioned, Tad anena pado asya vishva bhutani tripadasya divi. Directly from Rig Veda. This is the basically verse from Purusha Sukta. Ityasyartho darshitaha. Therefore, this Rig Veda statement, the meaning of this Rig Veda statement is explained here. All universes and created beings are but one dimension of him. And his threefold dimension is immortal in the sky. Tripad Asya Amritam Divi. Here Divi refers to Vaikuntha in the spiritual sky. Asya Padas Tatasyaiva Divi Vaikunte Yad Amritadyatmakam Tripad Tacha Vishwa Bhutani Ityartaha. The meaning should be understood in the following way. All the universes and the living beings exist in the total opulence of his being, consisting of the plane of Ekapad Vibhuti, as well as the plane of Tripad Vibhuti, which is present in the sky, that is Vaikuntha, which is composed of Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshema. Atra Adhishtana Adhishteyayor Adhishtana Adhishteyayor Aikyoktihi. Adhishtana Adhishteyayor Aikya Uktihi. So this statement is made considering the oneness of identity between the support and the supported. The support is the world, and the supported is the living beings. So this Ekapad Vibhuti is temporary. And the living beings in the Ekapad Vibhuti, they also have temporary body. And the Tripad Vibhuti is Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshemam. Immortal, auspicious, and fearless. And the same qualities are present for the living entities in the Tripad Vibhuti. And then further he says, Ata Chatushpatve Triloki Vyavastavat Pakshantaram Darshayati. So now there is a now he is giving another meaning of this Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. Slightly different topic, but the same topic, but another explanation. So far, is it clear? Ekapad Vibhuti, Tripad Vibhuti.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So now he is going to give another explanation of Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. Pakshantaram means what? Pakshantaram means alternative explanation of this Chatushpatve. The Lord has fourfold dimension of opulence. So this Chatushpath, the fourfold dimensional opulence of the Lord, one explanation is that the entire material world is called as Ekapath Vibhuti and the spiritual world is called as Tripath Vibhuti. Now, another explanation is given for this. This second explanation is that basically the Lord's Tripath Vibhuti has its counterpart within the material world. The Lord's Tripath Vibhuti has its counterpart within the material world. That is what is going to explain. That's the second explanation. So he's quoting a shloka from the Bhagavatam 2nd canto 6th chapter, same Purusha Sukta confirmed. Padastrayo Bhishchasan Aprajanam ya Ashramaha Antastrilokyas Twaparo Grihamedo Brihadvrataha. Padastrayo Bhishchasan Aprajanam ya Ashramaha Antastrilokyas Twaparo Grihamedo Brihadvrataha. Padastrayo, the Tripad Vibhuti, Bahishcha Asanna Aprajanam ya Ashramaha. The three padas lie beyond the three general divisions of the planets. There is Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. So in this material world, there are 14 planets are there, 14 planetary systems. So there is Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. Within Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka, 10 planets come. But above Swarloka, there are 4 planets. Janaloka, Maharaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. So the top 4 planets are Janaloka, Maharaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. So below these 4 planets, whatever planets are there, that means the 10 planetary system, they are divided into 3 categories: Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. So the three pathas lie beyond the general divisions of the Triloki. The Triloki here refers to Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. So that means that this refers to the Janaloka, Maharaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. So these planets are achieved by brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, respectively.
Sorry, Prabhuji, can you repeat that? Bhualoka and Bhuloka. So Bhuloka is where we are, and Bhuvar is that Janaloka, Tapaloka.
No. We are in the Bhuvarloka.
Bhuvar, right?
Bhuvarloka.
Okay. And Bhuloka is?
Below this.
Okay.
And then above Bhuvarloka is Swarloka. Above Bhuvarloka is Swarloka, Swarga.
So in Bhuloka, who's staying?
Bhurloka, all the lower planetary systems come in that.
Okay. And this
Atala,
Brahmachari,
Vitala.
and you said what was that? I lost that.
Uh,
Brahmachari, and you said they stay in which planet? You said
that time just coming here. I'm coming.
Okay.
So the three pathas lie beyond the general divisions of the planets. Triloki. Triloki here refers to Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. And additionally are achieved by brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis respectively. The others, the householders, who do not take up the formidable vow of celibacy, remain within the three loka. That is Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. So if you see this coming back to the shloka, the last word is that Abrihad Vrataha. Because of Sandhi, the I is not there, but actually Abrihad Vrataha. Brihad Vrata refers to the formidable vow of celibacy. Abrihad Vrataha means those who do not follow the vow of celibacy. If you read this, if you read the Prabhupada's purport in the Bhagavatam, so this particular shloka, Prabhupada also describes in great detail about the Brahmacharya Vrata in relation to this word. So those who don't follow the vow of celibacy, that is the Grihamedi, they remain within the Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. Antastrilokyas taparo grihamedo abrihad vrata. Those who do not follow the brahmachari vrata, they are called as grihamedi. They live within the Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. So grihamedi means what? Grihamedi means griha eva meda. Meda means buddhi. Griha eva meda buddhir yasya sa grihamedi. Or that person whose attention and awareness is anchored in the home. He is called as a Grihamedi. So they remain within the Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. But those who practice celibacy, that is brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, they attain the Tripad Vibhuti. They attain the planets beyond Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. That is what this verse says. We'll go through the explanation of the shloka further. Cha shabdah ukta samuchayartah. That means cha shabdah ukta samuchayartah, the indeclinable cha which begins the phrase implies all three padas combined. Ukta samuchayartha. Samuchaya means the indeclinable cha indicates all the three padas combined. Padastrayo bahishcha. The word cha comes. Prapanchat bahihi padastraya asaneva prapanchatmakasya chaturtapadasyaiva विवाक्षायां तु त्रिलोक्या बहिश्च अन्ये पादास्त्रय आसन् नित्यमेवं मन्त्रेऽपि हि तथैव पुरुषसूक्तं पुनः शब्दः. We can read the first paragraph.
The indeclinable cha, which begins the phrase and additionally implies all three padas combined. In reality, the three padas exist beyond the material world. But to explain the fourth pada, which is materially constituted, the three padas are also said to exist within the cosmos in the highest stratum of the universe, above the three loki or the three general divisions of the planets. The same point is also indicated in the Rig mantra by the word punaha.
See, the Lord's fourfold dimension of opulence is Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. Ekapad Vibhuti is material world. Tripad Vibhuti is the spiritual world. So in reality, the Tripad Vibhuti exists beyond the material world. But to explain the fourth pada, which is materially constituted, the three padas are also said to exist within the cosmos in the highest stratum of the universe. So in reality, Tripad Vibhuti refers to Vaikuntha. But this Tripad Vibhuti, it has its counterpart within the material world. It has its counterpart within the material world. That is what is indicated, just like we used to say, we say that there is a counterpart of Vaikuntha within the material world. Because we say the Bhuloka Vaikuntha or the Bhuloka Vrindavan. It's a counterpart of the Vrindavan in the spiritual world. So like that we explained. Similarly here, in reality, Tripad Vibhuti refers to Vaikuntha. But this Tripad Vibhuti has its counterpart within the material world. That is implied by...
Hi, Bal. Do you mean that Tripad Vibhuti is there in the pole star? Dhiruvalok?
No, not pole star. We'll be explaining that.
Okay.
The counterpart of Tripad Vibhuti is the top three planets, Satyaloka, Tapaloka, and Janaloka. That is what is referring to them. And Maharaloka.
What about Maharloka?
Yeah, the top four planets are said to be the counterpart of the Tripad Vibhuti within the material world.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, thank you.
The Tripad Vibhuti has its counterpart within the material world, and that is implied by the word Punaha. The same point is also indicated in the Rit mantra by the word Punaha. Again. So what in the Purusha Sukta mantra, I'll show you that. Tripad urdhva udaiti purushah padosyeha bhavat punah tato vishwan vyakramat shashana nashane abhi. Here the word punaha is there, na? So this punaha, this word punaha indicates that there is a counterpart of the Tripad Vibhuti within the material world. That is what Jiva Goswami says here. So then, what are these three padas? That is explained here. Te ke, what are these three padas? Aprajanam, brahmachari, vanastha yatinam. Those who are observe the brahmachari vrata, those who follow the vanaprastha ashram, and those who are sannyasis. Vanastha yatinam. Ashramaha prapya ye lokaha. So those who follow the brahmachari vrata, vanaprastha and sannyas ashram, they attain the counterpart of Tripad Vibhuti within the material world. They attain the top four planets. Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka. Atayeva Dharmatraya Prapyatvat Chaturnam api Tripatvam. Atayeva Dharmatraya Prapyatvat. Although these are actually four planets, Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka, there are four planets are there. But they are situated above the Triloki grouping. Burloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarloka. Above these three, Burloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarloka, there are four planets are there. Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka. Although there are four planets, because they are attained by adherence to these three religious disciplines, that is Brahmachari Vrata, the rules of Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. Therefore, they are said to constitute the Tripath. So that because Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, they are attained by people who practice Brahmachari Vrata, Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. Although there are four planets, they are called as the Tripath. That means these four planets are the counterpart of the Tripath Vibhuti within the material world. Aparastu chaturtaha padas trilokya antariti grihamedas tat prapyaha yasmad abrihad vrato brahmacharya rahita iti. So apart from these four planets, the other below these four planets, that is Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka, what are there? Burloka, Bhuvarloka and Swarloka. This Burloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarloka is attained by Grihamedis who do not observe the Brahmacharya Vrata. So you can read this paragraph. What are these three padas?
The Lord. Okay, What are these three padas? The planets attainable by brahmacharis, vanaprastha and sannyasis. Although there are actually four planets, Mahar, Jana, Tapa and Satya, situated above the Triloki grouping, because they are attained by adherence to these three religious disciplines, they are said to constitute the Tripath. The fourth and the remaining pada is made up of the Triloki and is achieved by householders who perform religious rituals for material prosperity, grihamedis, but who do not undertake the formidable vow of celibacy, abridhad vrata.
So essentially, this part of
So,
Anuccheda.
sorry to interrupt. So then if they are all these brahmacharis, sannyasis and grihastha who are following the vows, they are in the four planets, then how would they go? Like how would they go to Vaikuntha? Then they'll remain there only. How would their onward journey be then?
Yeah, onward journey, Vaikuntha can be attained by pure bhakti only. Vaikuntha can be attained by pure bhakti. Here, what is explained here is that, so the first explanation of Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti. Ekapad Vibhuti refers to material world. Tripad Vibhuti refers to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. Now the alternative explanation is given. The alternative explanation is that the counterpart of the Tripad Vibhuti, that is Vaikuntha, is the top 4 planets: Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. And the counterpart of Ekapad Vibhuti is the Triloki, that is Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. And Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, they are attained by people who observe the Brahmacharya Vrata, the rules of Vanaprastha Ashram, and the Sannyasa Ashram. Therefore, that is called as the counterpart of the Tripad Vibhuti. And those who observe those who are in the Grihamedi, Grihastha Ashram, they actually they remain within the Burloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarloka. That is the explanation of this. So, of course, the Vaikuntha can be attained only by people who practice pure bhakti. When we discuss the 9 characteristics of Vaikuntha, we discussed one of the characteristics is that Vaikuntha cannot be attained by fruitive activities. Vaikuntha can be attained only by bhakti, which belittles even liberation. We discussed that. But here, yes, the alternative explanation of Ekapad Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti is explained. Of the Tripad Vibhuti has its counterpart within the material world. In that way, alternate explanation is given. So the Lord's threefold dimensionality of transcendental being has its counterpart within the material world. This is implied by the word Puna in the following mantra from the Purusha Sukta. You can read this translation. The Lord's.
Anyone wants to read? The Lord's threefold dimensionality of transcendental being is established beyond the material world, whereas his one full dimensionality is manifested in this material world. Then, again, the living beings here tread on the path of consumption, that is, of pleasurable and painful experiences, or of non consumption, of liberation. So, Gnana Kanda and Karma Kanda, that Kanda.
Yes.
Yet, the all pervading Lord is beyond both. Srila Jiva Goswami says that the full implication of this word punaha is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.6.19. Beyond the heavenly planets, Swargalok, are the 4 planetary systems, Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok, and Satyalok. These represent the Tripad Vibhuti and the 3 planetary systems below that, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka, represent the Ekapad Vibhuti. The Ekapad Vibhuti is the place of Grihamedhi, or the person whose attention and awareness is anchored in the home. The word Griha, though literally means home, implies a wife, as it is said, a house alone is not a home. Rather, a wife, or she who keeps the home, is what is called a home. For a grihastha, a house or home has no meaning without a wife. Therefore, the real meaning of the above statement, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.6.19, is that the Ekapad Vibhuti is meant for those whose attention is anchored in the husband or wife as the basis of psychosexual and emotional gratification.
Such people rotate within the Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. They cannot go beyond the Swarloka. And Sridhar Swami says that Maharaloka is the place where the Kramamukti starts. Kramamukti is the path of gradual liberation. In the Maharaloka, the happiness is perishable, because at the end of the Brahma's day, when there is a Naimitika Pralaya, the residents of Maharloka, they feel the heat coming from the mouth of Sankarshan. So in Maharloka also the happiness is perishable. But above Maharloka is the Janaloka is there. The happiness of people in Janaloka is indestructible. They don't have to indestructible, of course, relative sense. The sense, in the relative sense, in the sense that at the end of Brahma's day, the residents of Janaloka, they don't feel the heat coming from Sankarshana's fire coming from Sankarshana's mouth. Of course, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, we say all the planets within the material world are temporary, but here you can say the relative sense. The happiness of people in Janaloka is however indestructible. They don't have to leave their abode at the end of Brahma's day. The Maharaloka people, because they feel the heat coming from Sankarshan's mouth, they leave the abode and they go to Janaloka. But Janaloka people don't have to leave their abode. Therefore, Janaloka represents Amritam, immortality. So Janaloka people, they see people falling from Maharaloka and that brings them distress. The only distress they experience is that they see the pain of the Maharaloka people. That is the extent of the suffering. And then above Janaloka is the Tapoloka. The residents of Tapoloka, they are completely aloof from suffering. So therefore, Tapoloka represents Kshema or auspiciousness. And Satyaloka is the place of Abhaya, fearlessness. Why it is the place of Abhaya, fearlessness? Because the residents of Satyaloka, they achieve liberation along with Brahma. In the Kurma Purana, it is mentioned, I'll recite the shloka, that Brahmana sahate sarve samprapte pratisanchare parasyante kritatmana pravishanti parampadam. Kurma Purana says that all those virtual souls enter the abode of the Lord along with Sri Brahma at the end of the duration called para, when it is time for the complete annihilation. So these Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, they are the counterpart of the Tripad Vibhuti within the material world. So Janaloka has the quality of Amrita, Tapaloka has the quality of Kshema, and Satyaloka has the quality of Abhayam. That is the explanation here.
But then Brahma is also that, I don't know, 11.10.30. What was that?
What? 11 point?
10.30. What was that shloka where Krishna says even Brahma is afraid of me?
So this is a, say, only a pure devotee Brahma, he goes to spiritual world. But a Brahma who is not a pure devotee, he has to take birth again. And the Kurma Puran speaks about that the Brahma who attains liberation, it is referring to the pure devotee Brahma. So Brahma is also afraid of the time factor. So this is essentially this is a explanation of the Tripad Vibhuti, how there is a counterpart of Tripad Vibhuti within the material world. So when we say the Abhaya, Amritam, Kshemam and Abhayam, they are the qualities of Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka. We can say only in the relative sense. Because in absolute sense, these qualities they only belong to the Vaikuntha. But because Vaikuntha is beyond this material world, something which is, but in order to explain that, sometimes just like we use the Shaka Chandra Nyaya, the moon is very further away, but the mother says that, oh, you see the branch just above the branch, there is the moon. Just to relate with the child, the Shaka Chandra Nyaya is used to explain where the moon is. So similarly, the Vaikunthas, the Amritam, Abhayam, and Kshemam, these are the three characteristics of the Vaikuntha, Tripad Vibhuti. That is beyond the material realm. But in order to explain to the people of this world, in order to relate with them, the Vaikuntha is explained by using the counterpart of Vaikuntha within the material world. That is the top four planets: Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka.
Haribol Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have also heard that Brahma and all the living entities of Satyaloka, but the only one, those who have achieved Satyaloka just due to their tapobal, they come back because they have no bhakti regards to the lotus feet of the Lord. They have to come back from there, and others get liberated.
Those
Okay,
who are
Prabhu.
maybe mixed devotees, they take birth. Are they fruitive activities? Are those who practice Jnana Marga? So the last part of the anuccheda, we'll complete this. अतएव उभयता अपि चतुष्पाद इत्याह. So therefore the Purusha has four dimensions of being manifest in these two ways. The four dimensions of the Supreme Lord are manifest in these two ways. Now he is quoting the next shloka. Again, the sequential shloka 2.6.18, 19, 20. Striti vichakrame vishwam sashana nashane vube yadavidya cha purushastu ubayashrayah. You can read the translation. The living being moves.
The living being moves either on the path of consumption, sashana, or of non-consumption, anashana. But the all-pervading Supreme Person is beyond both, because he is the shelter of both wisdom and nescience. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.6.20. Rishvak means all-pervading, and
We'll
Purusha.
discuss that, yeah. So this point, the living being is moving on the path of sashana or anashana. Sashana means the path of consumption, that means the path of enjoying in this world. Anashana means the path of non-consumption, the path of detachment. So, but the Supreme Lord is the shelter of both these paths. That is Pravritti Marga, Nivritti Marga. Because the Pravritti Marga is followed by people in Avidya, Nivritti Marga is followed by people in Vidya. So this shloka is further explained. Vishwang, Sriti Vichakrame Vishwang. Vishwang means Sarvavyapi, the all-pervading. It refers to the all-pervading Supreme Personality of God. Sarvavyapi Purushaha or Purushottamaha. Purushaha means Purushottamaha, the Supreme Lord. Yete Sriti Prapancha Aprapancha Lakshane Jivasya Gati. Yete Sriti, the two paths, they are characterized by Prapancha Aprapancha Lakshane. They are basically the path of material entanglement and liberation. These are the destinations of the living beings. The two paths characterized by material entanglement and liberation are the destinations of the living beings. Vichakrame akramya stitaha. But the Lord is beyond both. Vichakrame. Vichakrame means the Lord is beyond these two paths. He is situated in a position beyond these two paths. Katam bhute, which two specifically? Sashana Sashana Anashane. Because of Sandhi, it has become Sashana Nashane. So Sashana Anashane. The Sashana refers to Karmadi Phala Bhogata. Karmadi Phala Bhoga Tad Atikrama Yukte. So Sashana refers to the path of consumption. That means enjoying the fruits of karma. Anashana refers to non-consumption, or in other words, the path of transcendence of karma. Atikrama yukte. Tasyaiva tattad akramane hetuhu. Tasyaiva tattad akramane hetuhu. Yad yayor jivasya srityoho. The reason why the Lord is transcendental to both these paths is that he is their shelter. Tasyaiva tattat akramane hetuhu yad yayor jivasya srityoho avidya. I'll go through this and then you can read the translation. Avidya mayaikatra vidya chit shaktir anyatra ashraya ityartah. Purushottamastu tayor dvayorapi ashraya. Vakshyate tu yasmad andam virad jagne ityadina. So why the Lord is transcendental to both these paths? Because he is the shelter of both Vidya and Avidya. So you can read from here. Vishwak means
Vishwak means all pervading, and Purusha means the supreme person. The two paths characterized by material entanglement and liberation are the destinations of the living beings. But the Lord is beyond both, Vichakrame, which two specifically, both the part of consumption, which implies both suffering and enjoyment of the fruits of karma, and that of non-consumption, or in other words, the path of transcendence of karma. The reason the Lord is transcendental to both is that he is their shelter. These two paths are for the jiva. For living beings on the path of consumption, nescience, avidya, or maya is the shelter. And for living beings on the path of non-consumption, wisdom, vidya, or the Lord's own internal conscious chit potency is the shelter. But the Supreme Lord is the shelter of both of these. This is stated later in verses such as, "From him is generated the universal egg along with his universal form."
So what the Lord is transcendental to both these paths, because those who follow the path of consumption, the fruitive enjoyment, they are under the influence of the Maya potency of the Lord. They are in ignorance. And those people who are pursuing liberation, they are under the influence of the Vidya potency of the Lord. They are under the influence of the Chit Shakti. But the Lord is the shelter of both Vidya and Avidya. Therefore, he is transcendental to both. This is also explained in the next shloka 2.6.21. And then finally he says that Tasmat Sarvaishwaryena Ekadeshaishwaryena cha Chatushpatvam iti bhavaha Sri Brahma Naradam. Therefore, the import is that whether from the point of view of his complete opulence or from that of his limited opulence, finite potency only in the form of the material nature and the cosmos, the Lord encompasses 4 dimensions of being, Chatushpatva, namely mortality, immortality, fearlessness, and all auspiciousness. So the Lord has got 4 dimensions of being. The one is the mortality. This entire material world comprises of only one quality, that is Martyam is mortal. And the spiritual world is having three qualities: Amritam, Kshemam, and Abhayam. So when you see the opulence of the Lord, from the point of view of complete opulence, both infinite and finite potency is inclusive, or from that of his limited opulence, finite potency only. Basically, so Ekapad Vibhuti refers to material world, Tripad Vibhuti refers to Vaikuntha. And the same thing is also explained in another way. The counterpart of the Tripad Vibhuti within the material world is the Maharaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. And the counterpart of Ekapad Vibhuti is the Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. Burloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. So when you see from both points of view, the Lord's four dimensions being comprises of these four qualities: mortality, immortality, auspiciousness, and fearlessness. We'll just go through the commentary and then we'll end. So the 2.6.20 describes two paths that conditioned beings traverse. Ashana means to consume, Shashana means the path of material experience. There is the path of avidya. Anashana means the path of detachment. That is the path of vidya or wisdom. The Purusha is the shelter of both these paths, because he only awards the results of both these paths. So it is not that one can achieve the result by one's own personal endeavor, because the result is awarded by the Lord only. And these two paths are also explained in the Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter. Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, Krishna says that Shukle Krishne Gatikhyete Jagata Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyanavrittim Anyaya Vartate Punah. The path of light and path of smoke. According to the eternal verdict, one may leave the world either through the path of light or through the path of darkness. One of the paths does not lead to return. Other path brings a person again. So Brahma says that the Lord is the shelter of these two paths. From him is generated the universal egg, along with this universal form, consisting of all material elements, the senses and the gunas of nature. He is beyond all these elements, just like the sun, which heats the world through its rays, while yet remaining distinct from it. This is the Purusha Sukta. Yasmadandam Virad Jagne Bhutendriya Gunatmakaha Tad Dravyam Atyagad Vishwam Gobi Surya Ivatapan. So somebody can read the conclusion.
Anyone wants to read? The conclusion of the above discussion is that to reach even the higher material planets beyond heaven, one must observe the Brihadvrata, the formidable vow of celibacy. This means that one has to adhere to the path of detachment. Certainly, then, to go beyond the material world and reach Vaikuntha, one must be completely transcendental to the material gunas. This proves once again that Vaikuntha and its residents are transcendental. In the next Anuccheda, Srila Jiva Goswami will describe the experience of the four Kumaras to show that Vaikuntha and its residents are manifestations of Bhagwan's internal potency.
So next Anuccheda is quite a long Anuccheda. How the is going to, we'll discuss the third canto, the four Kumaras going to Vaikuntha, and how they were stopped by Jaya and Vijay Lord coming to meet them. That is discussed in great detail. The next anuccheda. It's quite a long anuccheda. It was almost, I think, 100 pages are there. No, 60 pages are there. We will discuss it maybe next several classes. We'll go through this. Anybody has any questions?
Haribol Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here in the conclusion, the last three lines, that Vaikuntha and its residents are a manifestation of Bhagwan's internal potency,
Yes.
Swarupa Shakti. So here, when one jiva becomes purified and reaches to Vaikuntha, so there also he also becomes as a part of the internal potency, or all the jivas who are eternally there are only parts of the internal potency.
Jivas who go from the material world to spiritual world, they come under the influence of the Lord's internal potency. They are called sadhana siddha.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no more influence of Maya upon them. There is no influence of Maya either on the Nitya Siddha nor on the Sadhana Siddha.
Okay, bro. Yeah, that was my question. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Okay. Thank you very much. If you have no questions, we'll stop here. The next Anuccheda is quite interesting. The Jaya Vijay episode we discussed in great detail. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्रील जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय।